Mechanical launched February 19th, 2019 was our first day in business. So we've been together now roughly a year and a half. We're a relatively small rep firm at this point in time, and we are structured around the hydronic heating and cooling business. Much of the inventory that we do handle also supports that marketplace. We handle products such as IMI Flow Design. I handle the Chicagoland market area and all the surrounding suburbs. I get down to central Illinois and also northwest Indiana. My time is spent with the engineering community as well as the contractors. It's kind of a twofold situation. You got the plan spec market that the engineers, of course, control whether or not you're in their specifications, and that's going to dictate whether or not a contractor can buy from you. So if they're dealing with a job that they were awarded, and when they look through the specifications and your product line is not in there, it does limit the opportunities that you have. So you have to spend time with the engineers. You need to get in the specifications. So I do evaluate which engineers don't have me in the specs at this point in time, and that's the ones that you, of course, first target. But you want to get to know the rest of the community as well and spend as much time as you can getting to know all the players involved. And that is the same when you're talking about the contractors. Chicago market is very unique. You have a lot of high-rise buildings downtown Chicago and the surrounding suburbs, and of course any large city would be the same way. But that's what makes it very unique for us in being in this market area. Our company is, as I mentioned, we're centered around the hydronic heating and cooling business, and a lot of those buildings downtown Chicago and the suburbs require that type of heating and cooling. So it puts us in a very good position being in this market area, and again makes it very unique for us. There's many challenges throughout the year that we deal with, but unfortunately we're all dealing with the same challenge, and that's COVID. It's very challenging from the standpoint it's changed the structure in which we do business. I think it's very important as a salesperson to be in front of your customers, to get to know what opportunities do exist within the marketplace in which you're dealing with or that particular customer. And when you don't have that face-to-face contact, you start to lose some of that information or that face-to-face time that becomes very important to get to know your customer. So now you're left with trying to do things over the phone or trying to do it over email or text messages, and that just doesn't work as well. So that's the challenge, trying to maneuver through this to have the least amount of impact on your company that you possibly can. And hopefully at some point in time we return to a normal environment. The other challenge that I'm faced with as a new company is when do you bring on additional employees? Of course, you have certain amount of support for your company, but at the same time, as you grow, you got to bring on additional help to support that. The challenge that COVID's brought on again is when do you do that, because of the fact that the marketplace has changed that much that we really don't know what's going to happen down the road. So you don't want to wait too late, but again, you don't want to jump in too early. So it's a balancing act. My favorite aspect of doing business with IMI Flow Design is actually selling the brand name Flow Design. To be honest with you, it represents a high quality product in the marketplace. All my customers relate to the IMI Flow Design as being a quality product. And I think you take that along with the customer service that Flow Design offers, and it certainly puts us in a great position to gain more market share. The most valuable products to my company from IMI Flow Design is actually the manual coil kits. We do an absolute ton of that business here in this marketplace, and with the accuracy that we get from the UA balance valve, along with the service that we get from IMI Flow Design, it certainly puts us in a great position to gain more market share. The opportunities go back to what we talked about earlier. You have all the high-rise buildings downtown Chicago and the surrounding suburbs. My company's very much leveraged towards supporting that type of infrastructure with all the product lines that we represent that handle the hydronic heating and cooling business. And we also inventory a lot of those products. So that's where the opportunities exist for us. As an organization, I'm going to continue to evaluate my portfolio to see what I can do to make it better, evaluate the products I have to make sure we're paying attention to all the product lines that we currently do represent. We want to do the best possible job we can with those product lines, and then at the same time you want to expand upon that. So that's a focal point, always will be, and continues to be evaluated. And at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm looking very heavily at getting some good people involved with the company. I think you have to continue that process of looking for good people that can help your organization grow. And I'm going to continue to do that throughout this year into next year.